Welcome back to our channel, folks. Today I thought it might be a nice little video in light of the fact that we've just returned from Disneyland Paris to talk about all the restrictions and the do's and the don'ts and everything that's currently in place in the UK, getting over to Disneyland Paris and then unfortunately returning to the UK. Full disclaimer before we start, this is everything that we have done up to the first week of September 2021 in the UK. As we all know, things change all the time and it'll probably change before we even release this video. But this is what we know so far. So me and Claire are both double vaccinated. So we can only speak about this from our perspective of being double vaccinated. If you're not vaccinated at all at the moment, not really sure what the rules are around there. But like I say, we can only speak about it from our point of view. So after becoming double vaccinated, we both downloaded the NHS app. And in doing so, we received our QR codes. Really important we get those QR codes because we need to scan them onto the French COVID app because the French won't accept the NHS app because we're nothing to do with them, obviously.
So your last vaccine has to be administered 7 days before you actually travel.
So from there, what we did anyway was we downloaded the PDF copy of the QR codes, get that scanned into the French app. And once it goes through, you get some confetti and streamers and stuff like that. And it just says basically, now you're ready to party.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I got it. So now you're ready to go from the UK to France. But before you leave for anywhere abroad, Paris or wherever it might be, you must order your testing kit to be delivered to your house or potentially collected from several locations around the UK. We personally had it delivered to the house, where you must do basically like a self-cert testing on day 2, potentially day 5 and day 8, depending on your vaccination status. The day that you come home, that is apparently day 0. So after day 0, you've got 2 days from there to basically do your test and send it back to them. Also, your home testing kit on day 2, everybody, I believe, over the age of 4 needs to take that. So there's the 2 of us. We've got a young daughter as well, Sophia. She's going to need to take one. Luckily, Freya's not 4 years old yet, so she wouldn't have to take one. But as you can tell, this comes at a cost and it's all going to add up. So in terms of money paid for COVID testing that we've had to pay for this trip, it's somewhere around £250. The hotel where we stayed for this trip cost just over 100. So really for a couple of days, it's a big chunk of change.
So I know a lot of people have the lateral flow tests at home that they have packaged and sealed that they'll be able to take at the airport just to prove the status, the COVID status and everything. But you do actually have to go through a company. Annoying.
And that's only travel back to the UK. I don't believe, getting into Disneyland Paris is literally just the French app. They just need to see double vaccination, basically. Or, if you're not double vaccinated, whatever test you need to show them. But yeah, so just traveling back to the UK, you need to have 2 or 3 tests. For the day 2 testing kit that we've all had to do, we paid, I think it was £43 per test, so that's like £129 in total. We went through Air France and we used the Air France discount code. Just go through their website basically and get it that way. And I feel like I need to say that because some tests are £60, £80, £90. Unfortunately, there's no regulation on any of this, which is, again, a bit crazy. Also, before you land in the UK, we did this before we left, but you have to fill in a passenger locator form just for all your details. It's a government form, you have to do it. But it's a little bit tedious. It took me about 10 minutes, I guess. For this trip, we was on board Air France, and everybody over, I believe the age of 12, has to wear a blue surgical mask. And also at the airport, both in the UK and over in Charles de Gaulle, you had to wear a mask as well, although I didn't see any particular signage. Everywhere on Disney property, you are required to wear a face mask. That's hotel and parks, unless of course you're eating food or in the privacy of your own room. So just about to walk through Disney Village so that me and Claire can get our antigen or PCR test. I'm not sure which one we actually need. I'm certainly not looking forward to it. So if you do know anything about Disneyland Paris, looks like the testing centre is where Buffalo Bill's Wild Wild West show used to be. Okay, so for the rapid test, there's actually a QR code that you scan, and then you go onto the website, fill out the information and give them the QR code when you get in there. And there's also a hand sanitizer over there. I am never doing that again, ever. How was that, Claire?
It was horrible. I felt like it was scratching my brain.
So it was just one long white cotton bud up my left nostril, and now we have to wait in the back of, well, pretty much next door to Billy Bob's to find out the result for about 15-20 minutes. It took about, well, the actual test itself took about 15 seconds, I guess, really. If you haven't had one before, which I haven't, certainly makes your eyes water. So yeah, what was that, €69 each?
Well, the total was 92.
The total came to €92, so what's that, about £80 probably? So we just came out, we was in there about 10 minutes. Claire was negative. So she has to stay with me for the trip.
That's a lot.
But yeah, both negative. We're going to get some food now because we're absolutely starving. Also, it was just a quick form that you had to fill in online before you got seen. You didn't need your passport or any ID or anything like that, or results of other tests via the French app or the NHS app. So, you know, pretty easy. So I'm about to walk through this health pass scanning section just before the gates, the security gates of Disneyland Paris. What you need to do is scan your second vaccination QR code if you have been double vaccinated, obviously. Any other codes won't work, so it has to be your second vaccination code. We all hope, of course, that this whole thing will just die down and disappear and we can go back to enjoying our lives the way we used to in some capacity, without the extra stress, the extra worry, the extra testing, the extra costs, and all that stuff. But we can always kind of claim that we had the experience of doing this at Disney Village, you know, and for 15 seconds of uncomfortableness, you know, I'm quite happy with the fact that we got to visit Buffalo Bill's Wild Wild West show one last time at Paris before they probably revamped the building into something else. We mentioned somewhere around social media that we was at Disney Village receiving the antigen tests, and a couple of people said, well, you don't even need those tests. You just need like a lateral flow test that you can just buy in the UK and administer yourself. As we said before, we are not experts in this. We just literally did what we was told to do. There may be other ways, other methods, who knows. If you did something different to us, please leave it in the comments down below without starting a political debate, of course. So unfortunately, we are now back home. It's day 2. These boxes from Randox arrived yesterday on day 1. So let's take a look at them and see what's inside and do the test. So this is pretty much what we get inside the box. And this is the swab as well that lady at Disney Village would have put right up my nostril. I'm sure the whole thing went up my nose. Hopefully not. But I need to put that into my mouth, touching my tonsils, it says, and straight away putting it into my nose afterwards until you meet some resistance. That's the official instructions. So day 2, bag to send back to the lab, and a few other like sampling tubes, etc., to put it all in. Also then just pretty much straightforward step-by-step instructions of what you're expected to do. Tells you you need to register your kit afterwards as well, so you need to put your details in there, your passport, etc., the flight home, the information for the flight home, and then it tells you how to then also go onto Google and just find out where your nearest Randex drop box is. Obviously, if you chose a different supplier, then you would get a different set of instructions, I would assume. I don't know if that was right or not.
I think you got it.
It felt right. I mean, from here, she just round it up there. Right, so that's resistance. Now I'm going to twist it 5 times. And then just pack it away and ship it off. Here we go. There. Claire. And me. All dropped off, and I think now we have to wait about 24 hours to get our results, hopefully negative, and then this whole thing is concluded. Guys, it's the next morning. Yesterday morning, about 9 AM, I dropped off the boxes at the drop boxes, and this morning, about 5 AM, we received 3 emails, one for each of us, me, Claire and Sophia, to say that we all tested negative. Fantastic. So none of us had the virus when the test was taken, which would have been now 2 days ago. So fantastic. And that's the entire process of what we did to travel from the UK to Paris. And it's all said and done now. Hopefully, we're wishing that this will all end pretty quickly. Yeah, we're done. We're in the clear. So looking forward to our next trip to Paris now, where we can do it all over again. Until next time, let's chip.